去年种下就可以，今年就不行了。
好了，全种了就时间了。今年算多贵呀。
我觉得这是一个很重要的议题，主要原因是中国目前的电力，消费了全中国将近一半的煤炭，排放全中国1/3以上的二氧化碳，这对全球的这种节能和减排都有很重要影响。但是这个电力需求呢，是决定了电力供给的一个很重要因素，所以我们必须得知道中国电力需求未来会怎么样，才能更好地规划中国未来电力供给的发展。
Everybody knows that China is the largest emitter of CO2 in the world, and in China, the power sector is responsible for a big share of these CO2 emissions. I am interested in seeing what can be done for reducing CO2 emissions from the electric power sector in China, because whatever is done in China will have a huge impact in the emissions everywhere in the world.
是一般睡前的时候才开，还是都开着？就回去3点多一起开。
那不开2台。
开2台。
目 目前的研究大多是从自上而下的研究，自上而下，它可以说这个电力需求跟什么样一些因素有关系，比如说是跟经济发展、跟人口、跟这个城镇化等等有关系。这种宏观研究呢，对指导我们研究很有帮助，但是他们的问题在于他们没法了解电力需求的波动情况。我们刚才也说了，了解电力需求的波动对电力这个行业来说非常重要，所以我们必须得自下而上的分析每个用电的终端是如何使用的，进一步把他们这些每个用电终端的用电累加在一块儿，我们才可能知道这个整个用电会是怎么样波动的。
We are going to be looking at what is the consumption of different uses or are associated to different end uses in the household, and how does this consumption change with technological advancement, but also with the behavior of the humans that are using these things, and with the climate that prompts them to use them, like air conditioners, for example. And we're going to aggregate this consumption at the household level. We're going to have different types of households, archetypical households. We're going to see how many households are represented, what the share of the population is represented in these households, and then we aggregate it from the bottom up. We can build consumption curves that are very detailed, that tells us what kind of end use is setting the peak, for example, in the summer, what is setting the peak on the winter days, in the morning hours or in the evening hours, so that we can start thinking of a system that not only builds power plants, but also design ways in which electricity can be priced and charged, in which people can be incentivized to be more effective in their use of electricity that is clean and, for example, when the wind is blowing and the sun is shining. So time of use, energy efficiency, metrics that can be, or alternatives that can be made part of this system more than just power plants and transmission lines. China has been very effective having energy efficient appliances in the households. We found that the system of labels is easy for people to understand, and that most of the households have equipment that is labeled to be efficient compared to other alternatives. We also learned that there is a lot of heterogeneity in the way people use electricity based on their age. All people, for example, in our survey, would not turn the air conditioning on in July because they didn't consider it to be very warm enough to require air conditioning. This was opposed to younger families where the air conditioning was running all the time. They had not only one mini split unit but maybe 3 or 4, and they had no problem in, for example, having the air conditioning running along with sometimes open windows to allow fresh air to come into the household. So generational change, lifestyle change is going to be a big driver in the electricity consumption in China, and we need to study more of this. That was a fascinating finding, that this is absolutely something which we need to look.
尽管我们现在已经采访100多户，但是接下来要扩大更大的样本的话，这个可能是在中国做研究最大困难。当然，我们如果是扩大样本来进一步做这研究的话，肯定这方法都还是一致的，只是说会有更多的数据，然后做更加精细的结果。
We will be able to expand for other provinces, cities and provinces, for a much larger sample, and also we hope to be able to couple these survey observations with billing data and with data from smart meters.